Bitcoin is fooling a lot of traders and holders right now with this massive bear trap, and in this video I am going to be showing you all of the signals that are playing out right now and the reason why I'm not going to be panicking and I am actually buying at this current moment. And I can already tell you, majority of the Bitcoin traders are right now panicking. The majority is fearful right now with the fear and greed index flipping in the fear stages. So we need to be looking into this and much more. So can we once again push up the likes back above the 200 likes? That will be absolutely amazing. And as always, let's first of all start off with that short term. And yes, the Bitcoin price has been cooling off a little bit after this huge dump towards the downside. In the short term, we can be seeing that Bitcoin has been forming kind of a base towards the downside and we are getting squeezed in from this support and from this resistance. Now in that short term, we can also be seeing that some kind of strength is coming back in towards the market with this bullish divergence on that 1 hourly time frame right now coming in. So this is definitely looking good, and one thing that we do know is that nothing goes down in a straight line and also nothing goes up in a straight line. So we can be expecting a little bit of a cool off and for sure a little bit of a relief rally towards the upside with right now strength coming in. So that is why I do think it is going to be pretty likely to see a little bit of a relief and a little bit of a breakout towards the upside outside of this symmetrical triangle. Now do keep in mind that technically speaking, it is actually going to be more likely, looking at the technicals, that we are going to be breaking towards the downside because we are leading in towards this symmetrical triangle with bearish momentum. So most likely we are going to be seeing a continuation. Just in my personal opinion, I do think it is going to be more likely to see a breakout towards the upside. But having a look in towards the technicals, then it's going to be more likely to see a breakout towards the downside and a further continuation. Now you might be asking yourself, why am I myself leaning a little bit more towards the bullish side? And this is pretty much because of the longer term, because the longer term is looking very good, and also because we have just seen this huge dump towards the downside, and I do think a little bit of a relief is going to be pretty likely. But then, if we are going to be seeing this bounce towards the upside and this breakout towards the upside, it is going to be very important to see what is going to be happening next, because at that moment we are going to be retesting previous support right now as resistance, because we have fallen down below previous support right now, which is going to be acting as resistance. So if we are going to be getting a rejection from of these current levels, well, that would be super bearish for the Bitcoin price, and in that case, yes, indeed, we are going to be having a look into lower levels, and in that case, I do think that we are going to be falling down towards that 52.6k level. Now, in my opinion, that is not going to be the most likely scenario, and that is just because the longer term is looking so good and because majority of the traders are fearful at these lows over here, and that is why I do think that this is going to be a huge trap, and I'm going to be explaining that exactly in this video. But just do know that if we are going to be finding ourselves a rejection from of this level, well, that is going to be super bearish for Bitcoin. But anyways, let's have a look into why I do think that we are finding ourselves close towards a bottom right now. And first of all, what we can be having a look into is that we have found ourselves the maximum correction, because we have only had one correction which has been this big one time before during this correction over here, which has been minus 24%, or let's say minus 23.6%. If we round it up, well, it would be minus 24%. So we've only seen this correction, which we are seeing right now, minus 23% one time before right over here. And the crazy thing is that in every single correction that we have been seeing this cycle, many of the traders were fearful. The sentiment was very bearish. On Twitter, literally everyone was bearish and calling for lower levels to be getting reached. And right now, the same exact thing is happening. On Twitter, everyone is talking about the 52k level getting reached, and some are even talking about levels even lower. While at the same time, if we are going to be having a look into all of the Bitcoin charts and all of the metrics, where we are going to be having a look into a moment, well, all of these signals are actually bullish at these lows, where everyone is actually bearish. So I think that history is once again repeating, and you should actually be buying at these lows. At least that is what I myself am doing, and that we are just seeing another correction like we have seen all of the time before in this cycle. So to start it off, this is maybe going to be one of the most important signals that we are literally seeing our maximum correction in this cycle, because every single cycle we have a maximum correction. In the last cycle it was minus 30%, and in the cycle before that it was minus 40%, and in this cycle it is looking like it is at minus 20%, which we are seeing exactly right now. Now on top of that, we are still pretty much in bullish consolidations. On that daily time frame, we can still be seeing that we are forming this bull flag pattern and also this falling wedge pattern, which are typical bullish biased patterns. Now we have not yet invalidated these signals. So yes, if we can be expecting a little bit of a bounce from of this level of support, well, in that case, we are still looking very bullish in a macro trend, and we can be expecting another huge move towards the upside getting initiated. Now, on top of that, we can be seeing a little bit of a sell the news event that has been happening with the Hong Kong ETF, because we have seen a little bit of the hype getting initiated right over here. And right after that, at the actual launch of the Hong Kong ETF, we actually saw a huge dump happening for Bitcoin, and we saw some kind of a top formation getting formed over here, which we exactly also saw with the US ETF. We saw this same exact structure with hype coming in and a push towards the upside, and then at the actual launch, well, that indicated the exact Bitcoin top, and right after that we dumped towards the downside, but we have found our bottom right over here, and then we pumped massively towards the upside. So right now the same exact thing is happening. So the question really is, are we going to be finding our bottom right now once again, and could we be reversing it back towards the upside, just like we did with the US ETF, but just on a smaller scale? Well, I do think that could be very likely, because if we're going to be having a look into what's more charts, this price action and this price structure, which we are seeing right now, is looking very similar from the previous bull market in January 2021. Because what we could be seeing over here as well is some kind of a base being created and then dipping below that base and actually grabbing our liquidity towards the downside, with everyone getting fearful at these lows over here, and then actually reverse towards the upside. And right now we are seeing the same exact thing happening. Okay, we have been creating this base over here, we have been dumping down below it, grabbing our liquidity. So right now we are in the same exact stage like we were over here, and we could be finding a very close towards our bottom right now. I mean, it is just looking very similar, and if we are going to be having a look into some other metrics, these other metrics are also going to be indicating the same exact thing, that we are going to be finding ourselves close towards that bottom. And the first signal that we are getting, which is going to be indicating that we might be finding our bottom over here, is that we might be forming a little bit of a hidden bullish divergence right now on that 4 daily time frame, and this is going to be very powerful. Now, hidden bullish divergences are not going to be as powerful as regular bullish divergences, but definitely it is going to be important to have a look in towards, and it is definitely indicating that a momentum loss is coming towards the downside, and actually that strength is coming back in towards the market, and some buying pressure could be coming in. And if we are going to be having a look into what the majority of the traders are right now doing, well, we can clearly be seeing that the majority of the liquidity is towards the top side, and we do know that Bitcoin tends to move towards the place where that majority of the liquidity is actually sitting at. Right now, most definitely it's sitting at the top side. Actually, none of the liquidity is sitting at the downside. All of the liquidity is right now towards the top side, so most likely Bitcoin is just going to be headed towards the place where the majority of the liquidity is sitting at, and right now it is sitting at that 71.6k level and also at that 67.3k level. So these are going to be the most important 2 levels to have a look in towards. Now, having a look into what the majority of the Bitcoin traders are right now doing, well, the majority of the Bitcoin traders are still bearish, while the Bitcoin price has actually been consolidating very bullish. During this range over here, Bitcoin has been forming this bull flag pattern. Well, majority of the Bitcoin traders have been closing their Bitcoin long positions and have been actually opening up Bitcoin short positions. And we can also be seeing that the Bitcoin funding rates have actually been spiking negative right over here. And in the previous bull market, this has always been indicating the exact Bitcoin bottom. If we are going to be having a look into what's the last bull market, we can always be seeing that whenever the Bitcoin funding rates have been spiking negative, it has always indicated that Bitcoin bottom of every single correction. So yes, right now the same exact thing is happening. We can be seeing that the majority is flipping fearful. Also on the Bitcoin Fear and Greed Index, the majority is right now finally flipping fearful. And guys, you know how the saying goes, you should buy when the majority is fearful. So yes, all in all, it is looking very good. And it is actually looking like we are just finding ourselves a bottom, a huge bottom in this huge bull market. Because you do need to keep in mind that we are still trading in a huge parabolic bull market. So all in all, that is going to be the reason why I'm still going to be buying at these levels and why I think this could be a massive bear trap right now. Now I am going to be talking exactly about what coins I am buying right now. But first of all, if you are going to be getting interested in trading Bitcoin yourself, make sure to check out that first link down below, because you can right now be claiming this $2,000 trade over on Bybit. On top of that, you're going to be eligible for a $40,000 deposit bonus. So make sure to check out that first link down below and claim your free trade and your free bonus. Literally, it is going to be free money which you can be deploying into the market right now during this dip. Now, if Bybit is not going to be available in your country, make sure to check out either Femex or Deepcoin with these other links down below, and there no KYC is required. But anyways, right now, when you are in doubt, zoom out. That is how the saying goes. And in the longer term, while we are still sitting on top of massive levels of support, this monthly time frame support is still holding up quite well. And if you are just going to be zooming out at these levels, well, it is still looking very good. It is still looking very bullish because we are still trading inside of this parabolic uptrend. We are just getting a little bit of a correction right here, but it does look like we can still be getting another leg towards the upside getting initiated, and that next leg towards the upside is going to be way more exponential. It is going to be way more parabolic. That is why I do not want to be missing this next move towards the upside. Now, if we are going to be having a look into towards altcoins, I'm going to be starting to cover way more altcoins on this channel in the coming few weeks to the coming few months, because I think the major opportunity is going to be in altcoins right now. We can actually be seeing that the Bitcoin dominance is breaking down right now from this rising wedge that we have been forming, and right now we are finally breaking down. So this could be indicating the beginning of the next alt season getting started right now. And actually, you want to be buying these altcoins whenever the Bitcoin dominance is trading high, and you want to be buying Bitcoin whenever the Bitcoin dominance is trading low. So that is why I've been for the majority covering Bitcoin during this uptrend over here. But right now we are going to be starting to be breaking down over here for the Bitcoin dominance, indicating that probably we just want to start to have a look into what's more altcoins. Okay, we can also actually be seeing that the altcoins have been trading up massively while Bitcoin has been trading down. For example, some coins that I've been buying were Beam, Ondo, Stacks, Jupiter, Injective, Render, and Arbitrum. Well, I've been very bullish on these altcoins, and also, for example, you can be seeing over here, Stacks is massively up today, Render is massively up, Jupiter is massively up. So yes, it is looking very good for altcoins. I am right now accumulating a lot of altcoins, and you can be expecting more of that on this channel. So anyways, with that being said, make sure to be following me over on Twitter to stay up to date about every single market development. And guys, I'll see you in another update video tomorrow morning.